Hello YouTubers, it's Travis. Welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a best of 3 Innistrad Crimson Vow Draft on MTG Arena. And I know sometimes I'll stay open and you're like, Travis, just pick a lane already. And you're wondering when is he ever going to commit? And then he finally does and the deck comes together. You know, sometimes there's a draft where you just can't tell what's open. And by the end of it, the only conclusion is that everything was open and nothing was open. What do you do in that scenario? Gonna answer that question for you today, so buckle in. This one's a wild ride. If you like wild rides, consider subscribing to the channel. We're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is a really big deal. So just click that button. It'll give you an alert when there's a new video so you can watch them faster. And if you super love what I'm doing, there's a link below to check out my Patreon. Thank you for watching and enjoy today's draft. Cool, I guess we get to win. Nobody ever wants to draft red-green, and that card's busted. Like, incredibly busted. I do like the Restless Bloodseeker, too. Good card. It would be my pick if this wasn't here. But it is. That's almost good enough to force. That's probably good enough to force, isn't it? Like to just straight up stop thinking and just play it. I think it actually is. I'm going to take the Weaver. Because like I could also just like kind of gently force a 5-color green. Yeah, the Weaver gives me the opportunity to potentially just be green and splash it. But I think the power of slamming it on turn 3 is a big part of what's going on there. And I also think if I'm going to get past an Alluring Suitor, I may as well just be red-green. Like, okay, I think we found our color pair, y'all. Sometimes draft is a game, and sometimes it's an activity. This one might be an activity. We'll see if the deck drafts itself. Pass me a Wolf Strike, and then an Abrade. I want them in that order because that would be ridiculous. And you can see all the green and red cards we have here to make decisions over. And, yeah. 2. About that. I'm going to take the Scavenger, which may seem weird, but if I end up in black-red, I could still splash this pretty easily. And I do like the Scavenger quite a bit. So that's what I'm thinking. But it does look like green is at least open adjacent. So we can basically be green and then figure out what to pair this with and or splash it. Because like green-black splash it, not looking too bad, frankly. Because, like, that's in. I've already got a Weaver for 1 pip. Like, in Evolving Wilds, it's done. So, sure, Blood Fountain me. I don't think I would play green-blue for this. The Heirloom is technically another source of fixing, but it's also another source of ramp, and I don't currently want that. So I think I'm just going to hack green here and take a Pig Club. Like, once I've got Halana, the Wolf Strike, and a Weaver, I'm green. We'll figure out the rest. And if it needs to be blue, it can be blue. Like, if all of that green-blue stuff wheels, I'll still play it. My hands are cold and I got a cup of warm tea and it's nice. My tea is steeped long enough though. I don't want it to be incredibly bitter, but I can still warm my hands on it. At this point, I don't see why I wouldn't just be green, black, and splash it. Because this is giving me treasure tokens, or blood tokens, to fish with. Like I'm getting card draw. I think this is my current plan unless something stops it. Okay, that might be enough to stop it. Might not be, though. It's a bit all over the place, isn't it? I mean, I could still just be green-red. I don't know what to tell you. That's playable. I've played that before. This is interesting so far. I think people are picking random cards. That's the best, to the best of my ability, that's what's happening as far as I can tell. So what if this is what we're doing? Green-blue Geralf splashing Helana. Or potentially green-red splashing Geralf. Probably not black, is what I can say for sure right now. This pack sucks. What's even happening? Green-black splashing both? I mean, there's frankly potential to do that. And that may be where I need to go, John. Because, like, I want to take the Socialite because the rest of these cards are not very good. I don't want to play a Sharpshooter. Staying open isn't taking bad cards. All right. I can do this. I can do this. If I have to move off of it, we move off of it. But right now, green-red splash Geralf is just looking better than anything else we're doing. I view staying open as taking the best card that you possibly can and then navigating through to find better and better ones, right? This is a very compelling argument to get into green-blue. We're going to rethink it again and now be considering splashing 2 cards. It's a 5th pick, bleed dry. I honestly don't know what to say. Well, the thing to say is, why are we playing green? What if this is what we were doing? Okay. Okay. Well, why wouldn't we just take this? It fixes for both of our colors. This is the most difficult draft I have ever tried to navigate. I feel like I'm building a sealed pool. All right, we're just going to get playables here and try to put something together with this. This feels a bit like a literal train wreck. I need a second. Like, this is better than what I'm trying to put together. It just has really crap mana, but I could get that mana better. That's a start. This deck's actually just blue-red. Blue-red splashing for Halana and maybe a Wolf Strike. I can probably wheel that too. Okay. We got there. We were blue-red the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right, Tommy. This is what we're doing, obviously. Who was worried? I wasn't worried. I think I'd be very interested in the Raconteur, but I just want to get this curve looking a little better. It's coming together now. What a weird freaking draft. I could play a Cradle. I don't really need to, but I could. Certainly play a Siphon Essence. I don't want to play the Epicure. I don't think it's particularly good. Well, that's not fair. I would play one. I think I'm more happy to have a Cradle of Safety. If one wheels, I'll probably put it in the deck. It's a combo with Selhoff Tumor, Stitch Statistant, Diver Scab. I typically don't have decks with bad mana. This one doesn't have bad mana, for instance. Observe. Mana's actually quite nice. We can even fit you in and call it a deck. And that was a hike. It was a journey. Or like nothing was open, everything's open. Except for white. One of those drafts where I want to go back and see what the pots took. All right, I'm kind of interested in that. Maybe I don't need to play this prisoner. I kind of want to play the prisoner, though. I need to cut. Maybe somebody's playing a bunch of flyers and I want to side that in. I don't think I need both of those. That's plenty of early game. I think it's a little better than the Ridge Wolf. I mean, not by a lot, obviously, but close. So one green source sorts me out there, right? One that has Venus flytraps on it. There we go. And as a Wilmington native, that seems good to me. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 green sources for these two cards. That seems like plenty. And then the deck's a little heavier blue. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would leave me room for 8. Well, it would leave me room for 9, so I guess we go this way. You might be right with that. This deck is not flooding out to the point that that's ever going to come up. I think I'm with you there, Tommy. It's good thinking. That's good thinking. All right. I'll be an arena athlete and we'll get some wins. Let's do it. They've got the avatar. We've got the card. Yeah, I'm happier seeing this than I would have been the other one. That was a good call, man. You can see the card, the song names right above me. This is from Stream Beats. But there's a Stream Beats synthwave list, and it's great. It's great. Yeah, John, but it's not going to 5 people in this deck, right? And that's what he's getting at. Is you can think you're going to do that, but you're not. Yeah, the card's good, but it's contextual. Like, that's important as you're thinking about stuff. Right? We must think in context. Context is for kings, as the greatest Star Trek captain of all time said. They're playing a lot of cards I don't like particularly much. Picard? No, Picard is not the greatest Star Trek captain of all time. Although I liked Picard. There was one hack captain who got stuff done when stuff needed to get done. No nonsense. No, I don't think you will. See what you're working about. Nope, not Kirk. I'll spoil it. Lorca. Lorca's my favorite captain that's ever been. It was absolutely phenomenal. Watch the first season of Discovery. It's the best Star Trek I've ever seen. They're incredibly dead. I think they were dead without that. Have a good one, Moses. Thanks for being here. I don't know what we're supposed to sideboard here other than maybe some worry about flyers. Lorca was so good. I've never seen Jason Isaacs in a bad role. So I guess that's a fair critique too. We could literally side into other colors if we wanted to. But I never really felt like I was at much danger from them. I think I would like to swap out Siphon Essence for Syncopate. Just because holding up 3 mana is going to be really difficult if they're curving out on me. I couldn't really stay into Discovery once it got to the 3rd season. I just kind of noped out from there. Good afternoon, Cyril. Yeah, they're curving out on me, which is an issue, which is why I want to play this to try to stop it. Because, like, if I can't find something to deal with a bunch of nonsense flyers, we're just gonna die. They've gone 1, 2, 3, 4 flyers. Like, what? Game over, man. I watched the first and second episode and then just never went back to it. Let me know where it goes and if you still like it, Draft Better. I would love to have an excuse to go check more of it out. Actually, that's not true. Whenever we watch an episode of a show and it seems to drag a little bit, at a certain point, Sim Wife will be like, oh, I can't sit here and be doing nonsense. We drastically have to find flying shenanigans soon. That has reach. That's something. Anyway, Simwife will often go read the plot synopsis for a series and then be like, we need to finish this, or bleh. And she read the plot synopsis for the season and was like, I'm out. Yeah, it is. Which some people were like, lol, space fungus, that's stupid. And then I was like, but crystals that let you travel aren't? Aight. Looks like we might be stable, Billy. We do know that they have removal spells. But I'm gonna have to try to kill them. Okay, maybe we... So you're saying there's a chance? No, the plot of the show explains why it's unheard of generations later. I don't know if you've watched any of it, Megaforce. But they're very careful about that. I've made worse mistakes than that. I'm not going to give them any grief for that. Roar! They seem to just be really interested in blocking, which works for me. We take 5 off of this, but then I get to wolf strike it down. That seems fine to me. Well, I guess it's actually 6, not 5. I forgot about the +1/+1. Just do this so I don't have to worry about it. I think that'll just kill him next turn. Yeah, I think they are quite rightly very dead. I can still block you. Neat. Like, everybody makes mistakes in Magic. I make them too. Right. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. And grab a leg. Nice draw. I'd prefer not to say the best and categorize it, because like I did not care for The Expanse. I would say I intensely disliked, like realistically, I really didn't like The Expanse. I have no interest in watching it. Whereas season 1 of Discovery, I was absolutely wrapped. So like it's cool that you like The Expanse better, but I don't know that it's quite fair to say this is the best. That's the like comments like that I don't think are super helpful. Some of them were very good. I liked some of the Star Trek movies. But it all comes down to personal preference, right? And there's no accounting for that. Just like what you like. Let other people like what they like. It's cool. If Jeff likes The Expanse, it can't be that bad. And yet, I didn't particularly care for it. I was just sharing that I really enjoyed Star Trek Discovery. That's really all I was going on about. I'd only have one pump up for that. This is really awful. But I have to find a way to kill that or we're just going to die. And then we're going to die to it anyway, is the super fun part. I was thinking we'd get the swarm back, but that's not fast enough. Diver scab into Hannah, huh? Yeah, fair enough. Well, it can't race it. It can slow things down a little bit. But like, realistically, I don't think we're recovering from this. Because we got to kill both of them now. I'm going. Not been happy with the Cradle of Safety. I think I might just like more counter magic. Yeah, this is a pretty damn good playlist, eh? I have two of them. I don't think the deck has any double reds, but it has some double blues. Just confirm. Yeah, but we would want double blue to start out with. Probably need to draw something other than land eventually. But maybe not. We've drawn our bomb. Only reason not to tap that is they have Piercing Light and they want to get me. We're not going to do that, especially considering I have 0 in hand. So I'm pretty sure they have a Piercing Light in hand. Or they're bad. But like, I can't play around them being bad. Neat. I still like the counter magic. If we had anything against flyers, ironically the 1/4 that I think Moses told me to take, and I didn't. I still wouldn't play it here. How would the spirit be? It's not actually that bad, huh? Yeah, I think we cut the idea and bring this in. This deck's got 2 Mole Drifters in it. I don't really need the raw card draw when there's that level of power in their deck. Like all of the worst cards in my deck. I'm not opposed to just retrieval this and then replay it. You have to cast that from the bin. Because if I bounce their dude, it's just gone, right? Yeah, I don't like their play either. I'm trying to decide if like the idea is we retrieve this and replay it or not. Because bouncing that just sets them back so far. Like a level of far back that I'm really, really happy with. I could also just gear off and see if they can do anything. If I retrieve my flyer and try to trade, this is eventually going to come back down. I think I can work with that, though. They can wreck me if I let that happen. I cannot let that happen. I really need to just hit a land for the diver scab. Once I've done that, I think we can win this game pretty easily. But I need to bounce this. I need this not to be in play. I'm sorry, John. It does seem like you're having a weird interaction over there. The reason they made that attack and wanted to trade is they just want to get the enchantment in play. As long as I have Geralf up, they can't really do anything with the Distracting Geist. But once Geralf is down, once this Radiant Restraints is down, I can't use that effect anymore. Which is just going to let them swarm me in the air. Now, none of it matters if I don't eventually draw lands. My hope is that they're planning to put these on the same card. Dang it, Bobby. I just need a land. Okay, I do get to draw it. Let's sort this all out. Magic, thank you for the host. Much appreciated. I'll spam some cats for magic. Thanks for thinking of me. The gathering's been here the whole time. The real gathering is the friends we made along the way. Oh, it doesn't matter because none of them fly anymore. We're just dead. That sucks. But this was mostly we needed 5 lands to operate and we didn't get them. It's like, I can finally bounce this, but then we're still just taking 4. There's nothing we can do here. Stinky dinky! Stinky dinky. All right, let's try one more and see if we can get us a 2-1. It seems like if I can draw our rare, we win, and if I can't, we don't. Still have signups in the anti. I guess I shouldn't expect the anti-league to fill up that fast, but I'm excited about it. It's a reasonable opener. Punished. I assumed that. What? I was like, they have to be countering what I'm doing here, and then they didn't. Okay. I should have played it pre-combat. I'm not used to that, but I was so certain it was going to get countered that I'm like, why even bother? And then it didn't. I will play it before combat this time. Although this is just so much better that I've changed my line. Because next turn I can potentially play the prisoner and bounce something if I need to. Yeah, it really didn't occur to me that I was going to resolve something there. You reckon it's just worth balancing that for tempo? Because I kind of think it is. Because it's on cast, right? Yeah, it's on cast. We just clear this out of the way. This thing has been just entirely worthless. Coming, thank you for the host. I hope your stream went well. Yet another blue-white deck. They're out there today. Innistrad had the best hats of any plane, like bar none. That's a start, isn't it? All right, all right, all right. The Air Force is going to be a little bit of a problem here. I have liked this a lot more in blue-white than I did in blue-red, which is interesting to me. Nothing? I was very certain that they had the 2 damage shock. That blows my mind. I was not prepared for that. But that's cool, we can chill for a little bit. I don't have to hurry. That's why I blocked the way I did. I assumed they had the 2 damage thing and we're just looking to clear this out of the way. Or maybe they think they're just going to kill me with the voice. I suppose that's possible too. But they're not. Now we're beginning to do the thing. I was going to do it in a turn. It didn't particularly matter, I didn't think. Pretty sure that kills me. Because we know what we're drawing and we know what they've got. If they put that on the diver scab, I'm just dead. They didn't, and I like that they didn't. But it still just kills me. But we're going to the next game. That's tight play from them. Felt like we missed land drops there for a little bit. Which, like, sort of mattered. Every matchup I've wanted an end to festivities and we don't have one. Like, that's something. I'm also very interested in the Stinkipate now. I'm just becoming less and less interested in the Lightning Wolf. Final round. Fight. All right. I'm not having any issues with it, Nick. Let's see if a bomb rare is good enough to win us the game. I think of any reason not to block that. Like, they'll eventually grow it. I'll have to find a way to interact with it between now and then, but hopefully we can get there. Means I probably want to have something that can actually block and kill this. This might be a fine time just to make our land drop and pass. Maybe try to catch a Stinkipate this turn. I wouldn't call that ideal. I meant to block it. Just fat fingered it. Not doing that. It just stop checked me. But I know how it works, and I got my stops checked. This ain't my first rodeo. No, they were checking to see if I had a stop check, a stop check for distributing damage. Which I do. Yeah, if you have auto-assigned damage there, you basically lose the game on the spot. You can go to 1 here if you'd like to. I should have them next turn. Is there a way to just kill them? It doesn't seem like there is. Pump a Trampler and Alpha. So if I pump the Trampler, I would have 12 points of trample. And they're at 12. I hate having to do math, but that, like, they're required to put everything in front of these two, right? And they can't do that. Well, it's also nice to make sure that we've won, right? But I'm pretty sure we have. That's 12 points of trample, and they're at 12. They have 0 cards in hand. Yeah, sure. Mill them out. That wasn't enough. I mean, we still win next turn, but... You got me. I'll take it. I'm not unhappy about a 2-1. Not unhappy about a 2-1 at all. The deck could have 3-0'd. But we'll take our 2-1. And of course, a big thank you to my patrons. Thank you, Paul, Punk, Hero, Joe, Jesse, Jacob, Scott, Basti, Rich, Michael, Brandon, and John. I'll see you soon.